London Ride takes place at the Olympia in Kensington, which is part of the Metro Ski and Snowboard Show.
It's a wicked event. It's like my 6th year doing it. It's awesome every single year. Everyone from the scene just turns up and parties hard and skis hard, has a good time. It's really good every year.
The London Ride.
We've been running the London Ride since 2004, and the event's grown in popularity with a lot of athletes now travelling from overseas to come over and compete.
All the guys from Europe come, it's an international start list, and there's a huge crowd here, especially today, when we just had the ride, thousands of people watching, and it's the highlight of the weekend and the highlight of the show as well.
The London Ride as a competition is pretty cool. It's getting bigger and bigger, and the show is great. The British guys, the skiers and snowboarders throwing out so hard tricks. That's pretty cool.
The London Ride is a great competition. You can see how the British riders going on, what they do for tricks, where they're staying in the European scene. And yeah, it's just fun. It's just great to be a part of it.
Shows what can come out of England. It shows the talent and stuff that's going on out here. That can give international riders some competition and show them how it's done.
It's really cool to meet a lot of different people and joking around. Great Britain is really, really cool. They have a really super humor. Maybe I fit in still.
Definitely the highlight of the ski show has to be the London Ride.
What it does mean is that a lot of people who come to the show, they're not only coming for the stalls, they're not only coming for the exhibition and the retail space, they're actually getting to watch an international snowboarding or skiing competitions while they're here. Something they wouldn't even really get out in resorts unless they were there at a specific time.
The London Ride competition itself is based on a quarter pipe competition this year. It's on a surface called Snowflex, which is an artificial skiing surface.
It's pretty funny. I'm not used to it. I just ride 1 year the dry slope, and that's here on the London Ride. I always normally on snow. But yeah, I get used to it.
It's used in quite a lot of competitions at the artificial ski venues around the UK. It's quite interesting because in the UK scene there's a hell of a lot of athletes that are training on this surface, and they're getting to such a level that in the last couple of years British athletes have trained on Snowflakes in places like the Sheffield Ski Village and other areas around the UK, and are now competing at World Cup level, the FIS World Cup level in the halfpipe.
Basically in Sheffield we had a really good dry slope there. It was all Snowflex like in the London Ride, and we had a halfpipe and jumps all made from plastic. And at the time it was the best in the country, and we had a really good group of riders there, and we just went down every week and skied non-stop.
All other guys have been riding on that all days, and it was the first time for me, so it was a little bit different from snow because, yeah, you didn't use your edges or something like that. It was a little bit more slippy and stuff.
Snowflex is really strange. It's not like real snow. You cannot turn like you want, but it's cool for ridings in London because there is no snow.
The only thing is you just got to keep spraying it all the time, make sure you go nice and fast and keep your skis nice and waxed, and everything will be good.
It's my first time on Snowflex. It's on the beginning it's really hard to ride on it because when you always ride on snow, you don't feel the first moment comfortable, but now it's okay.
What's interesting about the competition is we have a mixture of the best of British athletes and also international guys coming over. So you could say it's a bit of a disadvantage to the international guys because they've never ridden on the surface before. But the guys from the UK, obviously it's their home surface. So it's interesting to try and put those guys against each other and see, who comes out on top.
London Ride's really good. We've got all the international guys here, so it's really good that we get to ski against them and our own stuff.
This year's competition, we've got quite a few guys coming over. We've got Henrik Harlow, who is the Saas-Fee Ride 2007 champion. We've got Flo Visa coming over. We've got a few guys from Switzerland coming over too. The Metro Ski and Snowboard Show takes place every year in London, and there's about 45,000 people due in at the ski show over the 5 days.
It's the world's largest consumer ski show. Under one roof we've got ice climbing, teaching slopes, ice rinks, quarter pipe with Burton, Land Rover, fashion show, basically everything you'd want to see.
The benefit of the Metro Ski and Board Show is that we have a stand which allows us to exhibit pretty much every jacket in every size, every ski in every size, every boot in every size.
Loads of live bands, music, fashion shows, everything you could ever want to see.
So interactive now. They've done an amazing job to turn the whole thing around and put it back in line with where skiing and snowboarding is nowadays.
I've been really impressed with just the general vibe of the place. You can see people are not just sort of poking their nose in, they're here for a few hours trying to soak up as much as they can.
It's brilliant.
I am a golden god.
I swear. That's
I'm
our
French,
website
we're
address,
in
France.
But the judging criteria for this year's event was basically the amplitude that the riders were getting out of the quarter pipe and the style of their trick. You know, we didn't want guys just spinning to win in the competition. We wanted some skillful manoeuvres and guys showing, you know, good style, good technique for their freestyle riding. So it was judged on amplitude and style.
Big name is Mikey. Then yeah, Henrik is here. It's got a long way. Me too. I want to win this thing. It's not my third time and I have to. It should be.
Max obviously going to do his wake and bake. That's pretty good. Mitchin might try his 9 with his tail grab. That'd be pretty good.
There's thousands of people watching, so you know your heart's pumping.
Cloviza kicked off the competition from the vocal team. He dropped in. I guess the pressure was on him because there was several thousand people in the crowd, and he dropped in with a huge flair, and that really got the the standard set, and the crowd were cheering.
A couple of the British riders were killing it as well. James Woods doing huge flares, and Rob Taylor as well. You know, he had like 3 runs on it, and then it was competition. He was doing huge backflips and huge flares as well. It was great.
The other riders in the quarterfinal that stood out. I mean, Rob Taylor, he threw a huge backflip. James Woods was getting massive amplitude out of his airs, and obviously Mikey Wakefield. You know, he had his signature wake and bake trick that scored him really high.
The kids on UK are ripping because it's the plastic that they ride all the time. They're really good. So qualifications are pretty tough. Lots of good tricks going down, but I've had a bit of practice on it this week, so I managed to get into the finals as well, which was great.
Simple slap and a little safe. That's how it goes.
Jesus loves skid. Yeah!
Let's see if you are worth your weight in gold.
Just faster, everybody.
And I always did, but then I got lazy and I compromised. And it's up to you. Show me what you can do, and maybe I will be surprised. Are you too short for this sport? Do you have a last resort? Do you try and buy without a warranty? You left your options open.
it. Let the music. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our finalists.
So in the super final, it came down to Paddy Graham, Henrik Harlow and Mikey Wakefield. It was quite tense. The guys, the pressure was on them again because of the size of the audience. That you could see them ramping up the crowd. It was really good atmosphere. But Mikey Wakefield, it's really difficult to beat his trick, the wake and bake. And that was, that's what had to come through in the end with the judges.
I've been doing it for years and years. When I first learned it, I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought it was a regular trick. So I learned it from when I was young and I was a rollerblader. I did it on them like week in, week out. And then I started snowblading, and on skis I just put it through from one to the other one. And then someone turned around and was like, whoa, what the hell's going on? You're not meant to be able to do that trick on skis.
So yeah, Mikey, deservedly so, took first position and became the champion for this year's London Ride.
Mikey busted out his signature trick. Like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen do it. That's the McTwist. He calls it the wake and bake. And it was sick, really high amplitude and a nice grab in it.
Henrik came second, which is so respectable. It's an incredible result for a guy who didn't have any practice time, had never ridden on snowflakes before. But his style wasn't as good or as clean on his landing as his run in the finals.
My own favorite was Paddy Graham, I think. Yeah, he got pretty much style, and yeah, it's hard to get style on that quarter pipe, but he had it pretty good. Oh, not pretty, really.
Henrik did a huge cork 7 in the super final with a really nice mute grab, really tweaked, like over tweaked, which was sick.
And Paddy Graham, Britain's #1 freestyle skier, he came third. So it was a pretty amazing competition.
That's a lot of different tricks what we see today.
It's been amazing. Like, there's so many riders here, like international guys. It's well good.
Just everyone was throwing down. It was brilliant. It was so good.
Mikey winning the competition was incredible this year because, he won the London Ride 2006, and about a month after that he was away doing his ski season and ready to compete on the World Cup halfpipe and the other events around Europe and the US. But a couple of weeks into his season, Mikey he broke his neck, basically. He fractured a vertebrae in his neck.
I've been in the park all day doing tricks, no problems at all. And I was skiing down just outside of the P's, and I hit something with my tip and couldn't see, flipped me over, smashed my head on a rock, it broke through my helmet and fractured my neck. Basically, they took out part of the disc between C5 and C6, put it through the front and operated behind my windpipe. Put a carbon fibre cage in between the vertebrae and filled it with bone graft from my hip, and then put a screw in each vertebrae, held in place by a plate over 2 vertebrae, making it one solid bone. But like, if I didn't have my helmet on, there's no way I'd even be here. It did actually save my life. As corny as it sounds, it did save my life, and I'd never ever ski without a helmet ever again. Maybe not even like go wakeboarding or biking, anything. I won't do anything that could injure my head again, just because it scared me that much. I only got the all clear as of a week ago, so I've been out from riding 11 months, and then last week was the first time riding, and this week I've come and won the London Ride, so can't be more happy,
He's only just been given the all clear, literally a week before the London Ride competition this year, to come and compete. But nobody was expecting anything of Mikey. It was just going to be a smooth, progressive return. And somehow he found his form. He found that kind of perfect run. The British free ski scene is really cool. There's a big group of people, riders, and obviously parents included in that as well. They get together and pretty much help each other out, and that's what's seen, I'd say, the growth of the UK free ski scene, especially in the last 5 years. And it's, the atmosphere and the camaraderie amongst friends and things like that. It's a really good thing to be around.
Everywhere where we go, free skiing, snowboarding, everybody's friend, and you're traveling around so much alone. And then you try to have fun everywhere where you go, and that's pretty easy with those guys.
We're all friends. We're like a little family, a little ski family.
London Ride is so dank. It's crazy.
This year's event, it kind of raised the bar a little bit. This year's event we were seeing flares, we were seeing 7s and 9s being pulled off the pipe. I think Murray Buchan rode it switch. The only rider to do so, he got a switch 720. Unfortunately the landing wasn't as smooth, but it was still, it was awesome that he attempted that.
London Ride is pretty much the pinnacle of British free skiing. It's where it happens.
They just got to keep going with what they've got. They've got a really good slope with riders. I think we should get rid of the quarter pipe and put a kicker in for once and really, really boost it. And personally, for me, pole dancing would be great, and maybe actually get it to snow in here.
Brilliant event. It's amazing every year. All the ride series is always good. Turnout were amazing. All the riders are throwing down, so it was a brilliant event.
The ride events at the moment they're growing, and we're growing in size, and we're putting on new events. We've had a lot of requests from athletes to develop the Ride Free Skiing series. This year we're adding the Urban Ride series, and that's an urban event that goes around the UK venues. So it's a free ski specific event. Next year in 2008 it's going to be open to pros as well, so there'll be 2 different categories. Coming up this season we've got the Verbier ride, then we've got the Davos Hostas ride. In the summer we've got the Saas-Fee ride.
My own favorite is the Saas-Fee ride because it's on snow, and I really like big air contest.
And again next year we're already set and planned to do the London Ride 2008.